Hey YouTube, CountryBoyPrepper here. Today I wanted to talk to y'all a little bit about homesteading and what that is and why I think that's important. To me, homesteading is the ultimate goal of most preppers, I would say, because when you start out prepping, at least the way I suggest people do it, you start out building up your preps to last you in all areas for like a 2-week period, and then maybe a month, and 3 months, 6 months, and even out to a year possibly. But when you're prepping, you can all you're doing really is putting back supplies. You're storing food and supplies and water and things like that. And ultimately, eventually, those things have a shelf life and a limit. They're going to run out eventually. So the next natural step to me beyond prepping is homesteading. And homesteading, with homesteading, you know, you can still put back preps and supplies, but also you have access to renewable resources such as gardening, livestock such as rabbits or chickens or goats or whatever. And so you have much more long-term sustainability that way. And I think that's really the ultimate goal for me in my prepping, is to get to that point. I don't know if any of y'all are familiar with, like here on YouTube, there's a channel called Wrangler Star, another one called Southern Prepper 1, another one called Maine Prepper. Those are 3 really good YouTube channels that you ought to check out if you haven't seen them before. But those guys are preppers, but they're also homesteaders. And to me, those guys are doing it the right way. Those guys are where I would like to be eventually. And I wanted to shed some light on some things about homesteading. I mean, people may think of homesteading as being something where you got to have a huge piece of property and a huge garden and a big tractor and a whole bunch of cattle and all this stuff, but it really doesn't have to be all that big and all that complicated. You can easily provide for a very large family with nothing but a small garden about this size. This is more than adequate. And just, you know, some rabbits and chickens, maybe some goats or whatever. It doesn't have to be a huge operation. And if you haven't ever looked into chickens and rabbits, you really ought to do some research in them. It's amazing how much protein you can get for so little, as far as feed and time and space that it takes up and effort involved in it. And I'm going to probably do another video here in a little bit where I show my buddy's rabbitry and his chicken coop and give y'all a quick look at that. He's kind of just getting started in it, but he's come a long way in a very short period of time. And I'm kind of jealous, to be honest. I really like what he's got out here. It's a beautiful setup. If you're wondering what's next after prepping, to me, and this is just my opinion, to me the next step after prepping is homesteading. That's the ultimate goal, to be completely capable of long-term sustainability. You know, that's how it used to be for thousands of years, up until just recent history. People had to provide for all of their needs from the land and with their own 2 hands. And people nowadays just have no concept of how to do that or what that entails. And if it ever comes to that again, it's going to be a lot of people in a lot of trouble. So anyway, I know I'm just kind of rambling, but I wanted to throw that out there. And I'm going to move the camera over to the rabbitry and show you all that. So y'all stay tuned. I'll get that other video up here shortly. Appreciate y'all watching. Have a good day.